start breaking down some bowl games. Let's go into first the Myrtle Beach Bowl to lead off your Saturday at 10 a.m. The most beautiful way to lead it off is with a 6-6 matchup between Georgia Southern and Ohio. Ohio, a team with a Big 12 win this year, isn't it? So let's go in and preview this one. Jake and JP are breaking this one down for us.
I think we need to first talk that Rourke is not playing in this one. He's hit the portal for Ohio. That's a guy who had NFL aspirations to start the year and was on a lot of boards. That offense did not take off at any point in time. Now you kind of get another clash of styles. We were just talking about Ole Miss, Penn State. Well, Georgia Southern Ohio is a very similar situation. You have an Ohio team that wanted to be better offensively. They didn't quite find their footing. Now you lose your quarterback to the portal. They still went out and won 9 games, but they play defense. That's what this team does. Nobody's gone over 400 total yards against them in the year. Well, how about Georgia Southern on the other side? If you remember this a couple years ago, was a Kyle Van Treese team that came from Buffalo down to Georgia Southern and lit the world on fire. They're not as explosive as they were that year, but they are a team that can air it out and really attack, but they're not good defensively. So how do you kind of find where this game's going to go? I think Georgia Southern in normal years is an 8-9 win team in the Sun Belt. Since jumping up to FBS, and Ohio's kind of found their groove a little bit more too. So Schaefer, when you're looking at this one, like Georgia Southern, I think at an 0 for 4 November in football games, and Ohio kind of went down the stretch. And we talk about how the MAC's kind of behind everybody a little bit. How about the Sun Belt, which has been perennially pretty good this year? So how do they stack up?
Yeah, this team in Georgia Southern, compared to the rest of the Sun Belt teams, I think they're kind of behind, and we're going to get to one of those teams in just a minute. But you also have Ohio, who kind of limped to the finish line. Like, we already kind of touched on transfer portal stuff. I don't know where Curtis Rourke is really going to land, because he kind of had a
he has to be season. A bridge guy. Like, he's got to be like a Boise State needs a guy for a year, or, like a Mountain West team that's really hunting for somebody. Maybe like a Fresno State. Heck, I mean, maybe he goes out and with Sean Lewis, and not that they have a connection of any kind, but he's at San Diego State. He's got to be a bridge guy.
Yeah, 100%. But I expect CJ Harris to play for them. And this was a guy who took over when Rourke had that season-ending injury last year. They're not afraid to throw the ball with him. They threw it 42 times when he got hurt in that San Diego State game. So they're going to throw it a lot, because Ohio has their 2 top backs opting out for the transfer portal as well. So something to keep in mind. On the other side, you got a Georgia Southern team who relies heavily on creating turnovers. They're 5-1 when they create more than 2 turnovers a game. Like JP said, they went 0-4 for a reason in November, is because they couldn't turn the ball over. 2 completely different styles. One team just wants to keep it like 17-7, and the other team direly needs to get to like 30 points in order to have a chance. So it's a great bowl. It's a sicko bowl to really start off your bowl weekend.
It's a great one to put on the ATS board to start the week. Maybe. Let's just say that. Yep. I love this ATS board for this game right here.
We got if we had to pick a side, I think I'm siding with, I'd take Ohio in this one.
Yeah, this line's at 3.5. I think I would go the same direction, but I really just want to take Georgia Southern in this spot. So that's probably where I'll go on the board. I'd love to see this team go a little high flying.
I'll give my pick before I throw it down to Reese, but I still have a little fume of a hate for Georgia Southern. I think people forget it's a team that rolled into Lincoln and beat Nebraska last year. I was there in person. It was awful. It was terrible. Put the end of the Scott Frost era. So thank you, Georgia Southern. But I'd like to see Ohio roll into a win. So I'll take Ohio plus the 3.5. Reese, who you got?
Fine. I'll go against the spread out against all you guys again too. I'll take Georgia Southern.
Okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Well, too bad. I'm doing it.
The race is over. Take who your heart tells you to.
No, I had some decent, I had some mild success this year. I wouldn't say great success, because I was winning at one point, but not anymore. But I had some mild success going against the pack.
Fair enough. Okay, we do have to give a special shout out. It's a great time to plug it. Georgia Southern's media team puts together some beautiful videos, to which then we use their content to then create content for you guys, like the great video Jake made, episode 1, Bowl Bound. Check it out on our Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff. Follow those accounts. But shout out to Georgia Southern's media team, because they're one of the better in the G5 that I've seen. Would you agree, Jake?
Yeah, no, 100%. When they can actually it's crazy. You can see the difference between a G5 school and a Power 5 school with their recording and their video editing. Like, most G5s might just have like this basic camera that just follows highlights. Like Georgia Southern's got the ones where you can kind of zoom in on the guy when he's making a play or if a fumble happens or something like that. Just like, I don't know, when you make 100 TikToks, you kind of notice these things as you go along.
100%. There are rankings of media teams that we could put out based upon making those videos. Georgia Southern's one of the better G5s at it.